Okay, today in section 4.2, we're going to work on something called randomized block design. We'll wait on match pairs design. Okay, we're going to talk about blocking, what that means first, and then randomized block design and how it applies to experiments. All right. All right, so this part in your notes, you can pause this if you need to for a moment to allow them to find this part in the notes. Okay, a block is a group of experimental units that are known before the experiment to be similar in some way. That's expected to affect the response to the treatments, and maybe in two different ways. So for example, something real basic here, sometimes gender is a big difference in experiments. So for example, let's just say we're testing some type of new cholesterol treatment. Okay, so the subjects are going to be measured before and after. So maybe one subject has 190, and when they're done, they had no difference, right? They had 190. So I subtract it and they had a 0. Maybe the next subject had 200 and then they were at 195 after. It went down a little bit. So they had a difference of positive 5. All right. So it starts being, everything's getting tallied up here, right? So let's just say males didn't have much of a change and their distribution maybe kind of looked like that. Okay. But females had a bigger difference. Maybe this medicine was working more favorably in to their advantage, and their distribution maybe looked like this. Okay. But if you didn't know that ahead of time and you were just looking at this entire distribution, it's all just now clustered together. There's large variability from way down here at -5, -10 to +20. But really, when I was looking at the females and the males, there was a difference in response. Okay, so that's a reason to block. Block just means creates groups that might have similar results, but different to other groups. Okay, so you should block ahead of time when you know, or you think you might know, that there's going to be a difference, maybe just based on prior results or prior data. They're a form of control to control this variability. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next page. This is a little different than the example you have in the book. They talk about a keyboard example on page 252, which is a good one to read up on as well. But go ahead and pause this video for a moment and read example 11 to yourself, and I'll take you through it. Okay, so here's an example of knowing something that's going to affect the response variable. All right, they know that light-colored clothing tends to come cleaner in warm water. So block it right away before you do randomized design. So what should the researchers do? They should block the variables that may respond the same way or in a similar fashion. Okay, so you see it happening right here. Okay. Stop for a moment or go ahead and pause while they're writing this down. Okay, so after you block, now you go through the random assignment and the rest of the flow is just like we went over yesterday. These do not have to be the same sample size. You might only have 40 pieces of light colored clothing. So then you randomly assign 20 to each group, cold water, warm water. Maybe you have 50 dark colored. That's okay for this number to be different. But then once you take them through random assignment, you should balance it at that point. So if I had 50 here, we'd go 25, 25. Okay, compare the cleanliness. And then at the very end, you should probably add this to combine the results. Did you see a difference between light colored and dark colored? Probably did, because that's why you blocked. But you kind of combine your total report or results there. Okay. All right, so here's what I want you to do on your own. Based on that explanation of completely randomized design, I want you to follow up with example 12. This is in your book. This is on page 254 and 255. I want you to read through this and I want you to fill it in, parts A and B on the next side. Okay. Then after that, you're going to do number 75 in the book. Check it in the back to see how you're doing before you try 76. All right. And then after that, I'm going to have you do the chapter 4 for FRAPI, which will all be due tomorrow. And we'll go over and grade it tomorrow. Okay. So that's our main focus today. Complete randomized design. Finish example 12, 75 and 76, and the chapter 4 for FRAPI. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.